So let me draw up our basic offense in its first formation, and then we'll go over the names we use for the players. Okay, the circle with the X is going to represent our center. Our two guards, we have different names for. The guard, in this case to the right, is going to be our strong guard, and the guard, in this case to the left, is going to be our open guard. Why we call them open and strong is going to become apparent in a few more moments. Next to the guards, we have got our tackles. And again, they have different names too. Our strong tackle and our open tackle. Again, I'll talk about why we've called them different names. Next to our strong tackle, we're going to have our tight end. That's the position you're going to be responsible for, which is really a very important position in our offense. Now, first off, our offensive line, which we consider the tight end part of, they are 6 inches apart. Really, really small splits. Now, one man over and one man back for the tight end is another offensive player that we call our wing back. Our quarterback is 4 yards back of the center, and he's in what we call a pistol formation. Our tailback, meaning our main running back, is to the left of the quarterback with his toes at the quarterback's heels, and he's lining up on about the inside shade of that guard. Okay, so that's the first part of our offense. Now, 12 yards out on the line with the open tackle is our wideout. 3 yards inside and at least a yard off is our slot. And then our final position in this first formation, probably about, 8 or 9 yards from that tackle, even with the slot, is what we call our jet back. So those are our 12 positions. Open guard, open tackle, center. Strong guard, strong tackle, tight end. Wing back, quarterback, tailback, jet back, slot back, wide out. So those are how we're going to be referring to our players. Now, I talked about strong guard and strong tackle as opposed to open guard and open tackle. We flip-flop our linemen depending on the play call. So they need to know that the strong guard and strong tackle line up on the same side as the tight end. The open guard and open tackle line up on the same side as the wide out. An open side, a strong side. Okay, the formation that you're looking at here is our base formation, the first one we start out with. We call this east. Just like the direction on the compass. Now, the reason we call this east is because the tight end and wing back are on the offense's right-hand side, or, if on the compass, the east side. The wide out and split are on the offense's left side, or on the compass, the west side. To me, a tight end and wing back formation is kind of strange for Canadians, or it's not unique. It is unique. A wide out and slot, that's pretty traditional Canadian football. So I wanted the side to be named East to be the side with something that was unique to Canadian football. So that's why this is called East. Now, the opposite of this is going to be West. So if we called the formation for West, here's how things would change. Our tight end and our wing would line up over here. Our wide out slot and jet would line up over here. our tailback would line up over here. And now catch this, because this is also important. Our guards and tackles would change. Our strong tackle would line up here. Our strong guard would line up here. Our open guard here, and our open tackle there. So west kind of obviously is the opposite of east. You'll need to be listening for east and west because the tight end will have to flip-flop. Now, let's look at some other formations that we're going to call. I'm going to go back to east. So for east, open tackle, open guard, strong tackle, tight end. That's you. Wing, tail, wide out, slot, jet. Okay, so that's east. Now, here's how we have some other formations. We do them with tags. For example, we might call east smoke. If we call east smoke, the jet back doesn't line up here. The jet back lines up over here in kind of a diamond formation. Okay, so that's one. If we call east flex, this affects the tight end. If we call east flex, the jet back lines up here as another wing, but over on this side, we take the tight end and we flex him out 5 yards. He stays in a 3-point stance, and we have the other wing come in tighter. That's east flex. Now, for this matter, we can also run east flex smoke, which gives us this. Not a whole lot of complicated stuff, but enough moving around that the defense doesn't feel that they can key on this jet back. Now, another thing that we can do, I'll leave us in, no, let's put us back in east. We sometimes like to run something called east strong, where we have the tailback line up over here. And you might remember this is our strong side. One more thing we like to do sometimes, we'd like to do what's called east over. And for east over, we take the jet back and we line him up over here to the opposite side. So you can see there's a whole lot of things that we can do around here. And we also do have an under center formation that we call Toronto. We'll talk about that later. But from the tight end's point of view, these are the two things that you really need to be aware of with our formations. First, know the difference between where the tight end has to line up on east and west. East, he's on the right-hand side. West, he's on the left-hand side. And remember the little trick. East is weird for Canadians to understand. That's why we put the tight end over there. Second thing you're going to need to be aware of as the tight ends coach, understand what the tight end does if we call flex. Either east flex or west flex. And all he has to do is he has to widen out 5 yards. And we would still want him in a three-point position, even though he's widened out 5 yards. It's a little weird looking, but it really helps us. So those are our play names, the position names, and those are our basic formations.